1-800-449-8255, The Sharky Show. And I don't understand why voters do this. I can't figure it out. Andy BESHEAR wins with 693,370 votes so far, anyway, in Kentucky. Now, he was the guy a few years ago that beat that Bevan guy, and now, can't get him out of there. He beat this Daniel Cameron guy, who's supposedly a rising star with the GOP. And Cameron got 626,196. But here's the weird thing about voting, you guys, that I, Clark the Shark, just can't figure out. Why do the Republicans win down ballot? Here's a Republican that got 751,197 votes for Attorney General Russell Coleman. The Democrat Pamela Stevenson only got 543,916, or 42%. She lost badly, 58-42. But why do they elect this BESHEAR guy? Why does this Cameron get way less votes? He only got 626,196, you guys. But this other Republican gets 751,197 votes. This is weird, you guys. Why voters do this stuff. They vote for BESHEAR. Michael Adams, Republican, Secretary of State, 783,695. What's so popular about Michael Adams, you guys? Who is that? He gets 783,695 votes, but Daniel Cameron, probably the most important guy in this election, gets 626,196. That looks so weird to me, Clark the Shark. And look at his map, for what is it, governor? Governor, man, what the hell are they? Why do you, Kentucky, why would you guys want a Democrat governor? You want to raise your taxes and flood your state with people from El Salvador? What do you want to do? Why do you want to vote for Andy BESHEAR and not Cameron, to the tune of, BESHEAR got 693,370. He would have lost to these other Republicans tonight in Kentucky, you guys. This Russell Coleman would have beat him. He got 751,197, you guys. Republican. Down ballot, the Republicans just killed it. This guy got even more. 783,695 votes for Michael Adams. Now, what is this? Other, Democrats lost. Agriculture Commissioner, whatever those do. Auditor. Republicans won there, like 59-41, dude. That just blew them out. 61. This is a red state, Kentucky. Votes for Trump. Republicans are just winning down ballot. What's this? Oh, State House 93rd District special election. The Democrat wins. Adriel Camuel beat Kyle Whalen. I don't know what that is. State House 93rd District, State House seat. Some Republican lost, Kyle, whatever his name is. Dude. It's important to get BESHEAR out of there, Kentucky. It just looks weird why these other Republicans down ballot win, but not Daniel Cameron in Kentucky, you guys. I'm sure a lot of people in the media will be like, well, because he's black, Shark, and Republicans won't, they won't vote for a black governor in the ruby red Trump voting state like Kentucky. 1-800-449-8255. Oh, yeah, the Clark the Shark show. I don't even care about this stuff. Really, you guys? I'm just wondering why Kentucky would be voting for a red attorney general, a red secretary of state, and all these are red, just one Democrat won other than BESHEAR. And this win was only 7,924 to 5,841. Yeah, I mean, this is not real close, but I mean, this one just looks weird. This Adriel Camuel or whatever. Yeah, I'm just like, it's a ruby red state. The whole state is red. But why are you guys voting? What is your obsession with BESHEAR? Why does the map look like this? Just for BESHEAR, but no other Democrat turns areas blue like this, just BESHEAR. Now, it could be because Andy Beshear's dad was a Kentucky Democrat, and maybe people remember that. Yeah, that's what it is. It's kind of like, Jerry Brown and, Jerry Brown's dad in California, and Reagan probably could have beat, or I don't know, some good GOP, Duke Magian, or, one of those. But if you don't have a really, really perfect, good Republican somewhere, you lose like this in Kentucky, whether it's California, Oregon, Colorado, Texas, Louisiana, Maine, Minnesota, Seattle, fuck, dude, I don't know, North Dakota, South Dakota, Missouri. It seems like Republicans have to thread the needle to win. But, something major like the governor of Kentucky, yet they have no problems winning the attorney general. Russell Coleman blew that out. I would have ran him against BESHEAR. And then no problem with the Secretary of State of Kentucky, you guys. Michael Adams blew that out. This guy would have beat BESHEAR. Either one of these would have creamed BESHEAR. But why do Republicans run this guy? Dude, this guy, this Daniel Cameron, this black dude, only got 626, 196 votes. BESHEAR got 693, 370. That is just so fucking weird, you guys. These other Republicans, this guy got 751. That's weird, dude. And this one got 783. He even got more than the dude that got 751, 197. This Russell Coleman. This fucking guy, dude, the Secretary of State, Michael Adams, got 783,694 votes. 60%. Michael Adams would have creamed BESHEAR. Yet the Republicans run Dr. Oz against BESHEAR. I'm sorry, Dan Cameron. I'm sorry, they ran Kari Lake or Herschel Walker. Take your pick against BESHEAR. And they lost right here on the Clark the Shark show. Or did they? It's funny how the other Republicans got way over 700,000 votes, but this guy only gets 626, 196. Looks really weird to me. Like the voters were really careful, really scrupulous, really scrutinal. Like they're like, we want to vote BESHEAR. All of us ruby red Republicans, yeah, we're voting for Andy BESHEAR, the Democrat. We got to be careful here. protect those union jobs or whatever. Dude, I don't even know if they fucking got unions in Kentucky. Last I checked, Kentucky is like fucking Alabama or some shit. There ain't no unions. Or if there is, it's just teachers' unions and shit like that. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255. Why the fuck would Kentucky vote for Andy Beshear, other than the fact that Beshear's dad is a famous Kentucky political Democrat or something like that? I have no idea, you guys. But why and how would Daniel Cameron just get 626-196? I think, what's that lady's name? Powell or Rudy Giuliani? Or Trump or Trump's kids or what's her name? Sidney Powell needs to look at this. Okay, the other two Republicans in the race, and now keep in mind, 95% of votes are in, you guys. The other two Republicans get a whopping, average of 750,000, 780,000 votes. But it looks like those voters left it blank or something for Daniel Cameron, who only got 626-196. Me, Clark the Shark, I've been saying there's something quirky and weird about the counting of electronic votes. I said that Roy Moore versus Doug Jones 2017, that election for a U.S. Senate seat. And I say that 2023. Why the hell would the other Republicans down ballot all win in Kentucky? And by the way, the last time Beshear ran, Andy Beshear, whatever the fuck his name is, when he beat Bevan, it was the same thing. Down ballot, you guys, the Republicans creamed the Democrats in Kentucky. They absolutely blew the Democrats out, except for the governorship of Kentucky. It's just really weird, you guys. I'm not saying it's voter fraud. I'm not saying what it is. I'm saying it's just weird. I'm not saying it is or isn't voter fraud. I don't know, you guys, me, Clark the Shark. Why would all these voters, I'm not saying they're all Republican voters just because it's a ruby red, beet red state of Kentucky. Why would so many people vote for the red attorney general, the red, whatever the fuck it was? The other things are red, you guys. Russell Coleman, attorney general. He wins with 751,197 votes. That's way more votes than Cameron got. You guys, Dan Cameron. Michael Adams, Secretary of State, 783,695 votes. You guys in the GOP, Kentucky, you didn't think to run Michael Adams against Beshear. Instead, you ran Dr. Oz, Daniel Cameron, I'm sorry, or Herschel Walker here. You ran him against Andy Beshear. I mean, when are the GOP going to get it, dude? I mean, the GOP lost so bad, they lost by 70,000 votes in the governor. I mean, that looks like voter fraud. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. But why do so many GOPs vote down ballot? And this happens all the time in red states. You never see Republicans win in blue states like this, ever. You don't see it in Oregon. You don't see it in Washington, California, Minnesota. I mean, you might see it in Minnesota, but you just don't see it. You don't see a whole blue state go red like what they did in Kentucky tonight with Daniel Cameron versus Andy Beshear. It just looks weird to me, Clark the Shark. I'm telling you, you guys, this vote total looks weird. It just looks like 100,000 Republicans decided not to vote for Daniel Cameron. But by the way, they all voted for those other Republicans down ballot. Same thing happened in Alabama with Roy Moore versus Doug Jones. I've seen it happen recently in Louisiana and other places where the Republicans magically, mysteriously, oddly, weirdly lose at something really important like a U.S. Senate or a governor, but they win down ballot. And not only do they win down ballot, the Republicans, they blow them out and absolutely crush the Democrats down ballot. But they don't win the important things. Weird how I noticed that, you guys. Maybe it's a bunch of Republican guys who are afraid, their wives, I'm gonna keep it a family show, you guys. Their wife, their sister, their friend at work won't be their friend, and so they didn't vote for this guy against BESHEAR, or maybe they won't get laid or something. I don't know, you guys. I'm gonna keep it clean. But why the fuck does this happen, you guys? Why do Republicans win down ballot in so many elections? You can check, and yet 100,000 of them don't vote at something important like U.S. Senate, Doug Jones versus Moore, or this, BESHEAR versus Daniel Cameron. This looks more like Bevan again against Andy BESHEAR. But as far as I know, Daniel Cameron, he doesn't have any baggage like Bevan. Remember how they said Bevan was unpopular in Kentucky because of the teacher union or something? Daniel Cameron didn't have any of that, at least as far as I know. I could be wrong. I don't know what the guy's baggage is. Maybe, dude, he's got some Herschel Walker or Herman Cain shit, or, Clarence Thomas fucking shit. I don't know, you guys. But this is like a blowout, 52-47. This should have been razor close. This should be like 693, 370 to 689, 370, baby. 371 right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255, where I'm analyzing the race tonight in Kentucky. I didn't even know about this. I don't even follow politics. I've given up. I'm like, with electronic voting and mail-in voting, what's the point, dude? Republicans shouldn't be able to win. If you got Zuckerberg and big tech, or some country over in Spain, what are they called, Seidel or whatever, you got some company counting votes in another country or whatever. I don't expect the Republican GOPs to win, you guys, at all on any big level anymore. From this point going forwards, you guys, come on, dude. Big states like New York, Minnesota, maybe Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, California, maybe even Arizona, dude. The Republicans are toast. Because how do you win with mail-in voting? How do you win with electronic voting? You can't even audit either one of those. You can't signature audit, dude. How do you fucking audit electronic voting? There is no way. How do you... the witchcraft of some election worker looking at a signature to determine if it's real or fake. Or remember how Trump said, so many votes are just being included, and the rejection rate is really low in 2020 and 2022. Well, what he's saying there is usually the rejection rate for like the could be a fraud ballot, or it could be a fake this or a fraud that. Usually the rejection rate on voting is much higher, but lately it's much lower. You guys, you notice that now? It's just weird, but that isn't even why this Dr. Oz Cameron lost to BESHEAR by 70,000 votes. 626 to 693. Dude, I can't figure this out. Why did the other Republicans get over 700,000 votes? One of them almost got 800,000. But why not Cameron? Why? I mean, dude, they need to audit this and find out what the fuck happened with the governor here. Looks weird, dude. Why so many people didn't vote for Daniel Cameron in Kentucky? I mean, he lost worse than Bevan Bevan's race was close, you guys. But Cameron is losing by 70,000, 52.5 to 47.5. He's losing by 5. And this was expected to be closer. The polls had this tied at 47. Why suddenly does Andy Beshear just blow this guy out and get ahead, way ahead? It just looks weird, you guys. I'm not saying it's voter fraud. I'm not saying what it is. I'm saying, I don't know. Maybe it's just stupid, lazy, fat Republican voters, or all voters in Kentucky just not giving a shit and voting for a guy like Beshear. What's Beshear done for you, Kentucky? Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255. I mean, what the fuck is so special and important to you, Kentucky, about Andy Beshear? Why would you vote for this guy over Cameron? And then why would you vote everything else down ballot for Republicans? And not only did you vote for the Republicans, you blew the Democrats out practically everywhere else tonight in Kentucky. Hey, Kentucky voters, I'm just saying. Or who knows what I'm saying, you guys. Maybe there's something nefarious going on. I don't know how they're doing this, if they're doing it. I don't know if it's the electronic voting or the mail-in voting. I don't know how this is what it is, but they need to call every voter and go, dude, why the fuck did you vote for Adams and the other Republicans, but you did not vote for Daniel Cameron? They need to call Joe that lives on 18th Street in Lexington and go, dude, why didn't you vote for Cameron? What's wrong with you? And like, I did, dude. I thought I did, bro. I voted for Adams and Coleman, and I voted for Cameron. Oh, dude, Russell Coleman won. Adams won, but not Cameron. Sort of like Bevan, sort of like Roy Moore. That just looks weird to me, you guys. Clark the Shark, 1-800-449-8255. Once again, the Republicans are winning big down ballot, but not at the U.S. Senate or the governor or the Congress or whatever's important. They ain't winning, you guys. I'm not saying it's voter fraud. I'm not saying it isn't voter fraud. I don't know what the fuck this is, you guys. Why is it so blue for Beshear, but it's not blue at all for Pamela Stevenson? She lost badly. What's wrong with Pamela Stevenson? Hey, Kentucky, what do you got against that Democrat? And by the way, Charles Wheatley, he got blown out in the Secretary of State. The Republican got 783, 695 votes, and Charles Wheatley got 509, 308, which was less than Beshear, who got 693. You guys are just crazy about this Beshear Democrat. It just looks weird, you guys, why Beshear did so well, but Stevenson didn't do well, and neither did Wheatley. It just looks weird, you guys. I'm not saying there's nefarious electronic voting counting or mail-in ballots. I don't know what the fuck this is. What do you even call this? If Clark the Shark won like this, you guys would call it voter fraud, because you'd be like, hey, not that many people like Clark the Shark. Matter of fact, people hate the fucking guy's guts. He's unpopular. Nobody likes him. And yet, because Clark the Shark is the Democrat, he wins with 693,000 votes. And, Clark the Shark beat the Republican, who only got 626. Dude, you see where I'm going with this, you guys? You see what I'm saying here? Looks really fucking weird. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, I'm Clark the Shark, where you just got the weird, quirky, oddity, anomaly truth, I guess. I don't know. You just got the weirdness tonight in the Matrix, right here in the simulation, that I, Clark the Shark, did this all, you guys. You don't know it out there, but I wrote you. And I wrote this weird election tonight, just like I wrote and created the one where Doug Jones beat Roy Moore back in 2017. I created and crafted in my Hollywood studios the moon landing, you guys. Lee Harvey Oswald, you know, dude, him. Forget those people behind the curtain at the grassy knoll, dude. I wrote them too. Yeah, man. Glitches in the Matrix, deja vus, you guys. Clark the Shark did them all. Confusing, quirky, twisted, weird, your dreams, everything. But I couldn't have fucking wrote something this weird. Andy Beshear wins with almost 700,000 votes against Dr. Oz. I'm sorry, I mean Cameron. I'm sorry, I mean Herschel Walker, 626, 196. Dude, even me, Clark the Shark, I wrote the whole Matrix. I wrote the whole universe, but I couldn't fucking possibly have written this. This Republican wins by 200,000 votes. This Republican wins by 280,000 votes. And yet, this Republican loses by 70,000. Looks really weird, you guys. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show. Not even I can create shit this weird, you guys. And I invented God. I invented Jesus. I invented the Matrix. Dude, I didn't just invent grunge music. I fucking invented the dinosaurs, UFOs. Dude, you name it. Clark the Shark, I did your whole life, your marriage, your children. I wrote you. And yet, I can't explain how Beshear won in Kentucky. The other Republicans won by 300 fucking thousand, but not Daniel Cameron. No, just him. He was the only one on the ballot that lost, and he lost badly by 5%. You see, I can do a lot of amazing things, you guys, but not even me, Clark the Shark, can explain this Kentucky election tonight. I want to say this is weird. I want to say it's astronomical. I want to say it's phenomenal. But I know the truth because I wrote it and I did it, and none of you will question me. Your dear leader, Kim Jong Shark. You will continue to obey me right here at 1-800-449-8255 from the fabulous, amazing, unbelievably crafted Clark the Shark Show, where I easily hypnotize and control all of you, Kentucky. I convinced you, I made you, I got you, Kentucky, to vote for one Democrat named Andy Beshear tonight over Daniel Cameron. And I said, you know what? I want you guys to vote the rest of the ballot all Republican. Or, you know what? Just maybe give the Democrats a little tidbit win here and there somewhere. Like they won city council down there in Bumfuck County or some shit, dude. But and when it comes to the big one, I, Clark the Shark, wanted you guys to vote for Andy Beshear. And you followed through with my advice, being as fucking dumb and stupid as you are, Kentucky. You voted for all the Republicans on the ballot except for this one, Daniel effing Cameron. You voted for Andy Beshear. Congratulations. You're fucking geniuses, Kentucky. I mean, really, Kentucky? Come on, you guys. You're better than this. You guys, look at how blue you painted Kentucky tonight for Andy fucking Beshear. Oh, he's so important to you guys. You gotta have Andy Beshear, don't you, Kentucky? I mean, come on, dude. Are you fucking people insane? You could have elected Dr. Oz, I mean Herschel, I mean Lake, or whatever, Daniel Cameron, but you voted for Beshear by 70,000 more votes, and you painted the map fucking almost blue here in the governor's race. Oh, but not here in the attorney general race. You colored it pretty red, baby. And by the way, you colored the Secretary of State, Michael Adams, that Republican. You gave him 783,000 fucking votes, Kentucky, tonight, but you couldn't even muster 600,000 for Cameron. That's just really sad, dude. 626. Well, I'm sorry. You couldn't even get 650,000. I think even Bevan got 650, you guys. I mean, come on, dude. Did he get less than Bevan? Did Cameron get less than Bevan? You guys? Really, dude? This guy probably would have been a good governor, Daniel Cameron. He probably would have been great, you guys. Oh, you didn't vote for him, Kentucky, because he's black? Is that really why? Because that's what CNN and MSNBC are going to say about you, Kentucky. You voted for all the other Republicans. So now we know the next day, like David Bowie, after the fact, that all we had to do was run Coleman or Adams and we would have fucking beat BESHEAR. But instead, they run Daniel Cameron. Who the fuck is Daniel Cameron anyway? I mean, and why did he lose by 70,000 to BESHEAR? And what the fuck is so good about Andy BESHEAR, Kentucky? What does this guy do for you? Didn't Andy BESHEAR sign that law that let the criminals out and let the criminals vote and let illegals drive and all this fucking shit you don't want in Kentucky? Kentucky, are you listening to me? Clark the Shark. I don't even give a shit who wins. I mean, I'm a Republican, but not, dude, I'm a hardcore conservative right-wing Republican. Yeah, but I'm not a Republican like Fox News, like Hannity, like, oh boy, let's go get them. Let's kick their ass Republican. Because I know something weird is going on. And what's the point? When it's a big election, you can't beat these guys now, you guys. I don't know if it's the electronic vote counting or the absentee votes or the mail-in votes or all the girls are pro-choice or, there's so many LGBTQ, gay or whatever, trans people or people from the Middle East or Latinos or whatever, dude. I don't know what it is. But if that were true, if that were it, then why are Republicans winning ruby red with Russell Coleman in Kentucky? Why are Republicans winning ruby beet red with Michael Adams for the Secretary of State tonight for Kentucky, dude? Come on. What the fuck do you guys got for BESHEAR? You got a boner? You got a fucking hard on for BESHEAR and not Cameron? I don't get it, you guys. Clark the Shark, 1-800-449-8255 from the fabulous, amazing golden EIB Sharkerphone, where I don't even fucking care. I don't even think I'm going to vote anymore. Because I think Trump ain't going to beat Biden. Even if Biden was 103 years old and he was in a wheelchair and he couldn't even walk, he's going to win. Because Democrats and big tech run our voting, you guys. Or something like that. I don't know. Something weird's going on. Because Republicans sure do win down ballot in a lot of states, but they don't win where it counts. And they don't win where it matters. And they don't win where it's important on the ballot. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255 from the amazing golden Sharkerphone. It's not a microphone, you guys, and it's not broadcasting. It's sharkcasting. Right here on the Sharky Political Network, Shark NN, where you just got the only observation of BESHEAR versus Cameron that you'll ever need. Because much like BESHEAR versus Bevan, this one looks really suspectfully weird and curious, you guys. This just looks, the long view and the short view, you name the view, dude. It looks wrong or something. And it also, if it's true, you guys, if you guys in Kentucky are voting for every Republican but not the black one, then maybe the media and CNN and MSNBC are right about you, Kentucky. Maybe you guys are prejudiced or racist, or you don't like blacks, and that's why you didn't vote for Daniel Cameron tonight in Kentucky against BESHEAR. I mean, you fucking deserve BESHEAR then, Kentucky, if you're not voting for Daniel Cameron tonight just because he's black. And you voted for all the other Republicans down ballot, like Coleman and Adams and all the others. It's really important. The Secretary of State and Attorney General and the City Council and blah, blah, dude. The fucking janitor of Lexington is got to be a Republican, but not Daniel Cameron at governor. I don't know what it is, you guys. The deeper, bigger picture in me, my brain, Sharky, says this looks very weird. This looks very nefarious. This looks very suspect, but I can't prove it because I don't count the votes. But I do know this: democracy disappears in darkness. That's right. You heard that. Let me repeat that and say that one more time. Democracy disappears in the darkness. But tonight in Kentucky, it disappeared in broad daylight, in plain view, almost like they were towing a UFO around the boulevards or the freeways. And they were knocking down the bridges to move the UFO, but you didn't see that. You didn't hear it. You won't say nothing to no one, never in your life. Not a word of it. Come on, Sharky, what you know is the truth. Right here on the Sharky Show, Tommy, where you just got the word. And I'm out of here, people. Ignore the man behind the curtain. What does he know? In fact, what does Sharky even know? The men in black, their lips are sealed. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I turn my hopes up to the sky. Shark likes to know before he dies. Memories will surely fade. Come on and take Shark away. Do 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 do. Strange shapes light up the night. Shark never seen 'em, but he wishes he might. Yeah, you guys, how the fuck did the GOP lose this? It's not how did the Dems win it. It's just, the GOP stayed home for Daniel Cameron, but they voted for all the other GOPs on the ballot. I mean, Roy Moore wasn't black. Alabama, why didn't you vote for him? Fucking guy in Louisiana wasn't black against the Democrat there. Well, what was that, 2018, 2019? Why didn't you vote for him, Louisiana? It just looks weird. The men in black, their lips are sealed, you guys. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, where it's a upside down cross with a question mark, and I'm just like, fucking BOC can't even figure it out, baby. Very weird. I'm out of here. Peace.